Do you enjoy juggling? I love juggling. Bulería is like juggling, multi-dimensional and fast-paced, and it involves managing various elements simultaneously while keeping a global vision. Otherwise, you just drop everything. Uy, hey, toma. Hi, this is Guillermo Guillen for FlamencoMAPS. Welcome to my channel. Whether you dance flamenco, you sing, you play guitar, you play palmas, you play cajon, are you still struggling with bulería? Maybe you've been practicing bulería a lot, listening to it all the time, taking countless of classes and workshops, watching hundreds of videos and tutorials, but it still eludes you. At some point you always get lost in the compás. You are still not sure about what to do, about what kind of palmas to play, or you are not able to follow what the singer is doing, where to rematar, where to place your patá. There is a good reason for this. Bulería is difficult. Bulería is extraordinarily attractive. That's why Bulería classes, workshops, or YouTube tutorial are usually far more popular than for other palos, which I can perfectly verify on this channel. We all want to be good at Bulería, and as soon as possible. We all want to dance, to play, to sing por Bulería freely and with confidence, and we want to have fun in a fiesta por Bulería. Or in a fin de fiesta por bulería. But let's be clear here from the start. Bulería is complex and difficult. Sometimes we hear people saying, it's not that difficult. You just have to feel the compás and listen to the cante and let your instinct blah blah blah. I'm sorry, but no, it is difficult. And in addition to being very hard, the way people learn, the way people practice, and even most of the time the way bulería is being taught are not effective at all. Ironically, it is often made much more difficult than it already is by the way it is explained, or actually not explained, but just shown in a repeat after me mode, but without any clear information or instruction. To be able to grasp and to practice bulería effectively, it is crucial to first understand its complexities, to be able to break them down and to finally overcome them, but in an informed, coherent and strategic way. So let's see today together why bulería is giving us so much trouble. Real-time improvised bulería, what we sometimes call por fiesta, whether on stage or during a fiesta or a juerga, a party or a jam, encapsulates all the greatest challenges of flamenco. It is highly spontaneous and improvised, and you can't rely on a pre-established itinerary or choreography. Interactions between cante, baile and guitar are constant and complex. The compás is intricate, multi-dimensional and polyrhythmic. It's part of the group I call the multi-dimensional troublemakers. The tempo is usually fast, what makes everything even more difficult. Structures unfold at a very fast pace, and the rapid cues like llamadas, remates, cierres require quick reactions and precise rhythmic execution. Truly mastering bulería is actually just the tip of the iceberg, but beneath the surface lies the heavy lifting, invisible but essential. So there is no secrets, no shortcut, no fast track, no magic pills, no tips and tricks. No one can give you the secret of bulería in a video tutorial. It's just too vast and too complex. If you want to master bulería and flamenco in general for real, sooner or later you'll have to get your hands dirty. Even if you move to Spain tomorrow, to Jerez de la Frontera, you'll still need like months or even years to master bulería, because there are things that you can't rush. There are things to understand, there are things to study, and then you'll have to practice a lot and for a long time. So now that I have cheered you up, let's see how we can clear the ground for a better understanding and a more efficient practice. People often struggle with getting the hang of Bulería for a few recurring reasons. Firstly, they tend to pile up a lot of material. Steps and moves and choreographies and letras and remates and palmas patterns and patá without really understanding why they are doing them and how they fit together. It's like having a lot of pieces but not knowing how to build the puzzle. Another problem is that people tend to get fixated on Bulería alone. They eat, sleep and breathe for Bulería, ignoring other important palos. It seems logical to think that if you want to be good at Bulería, you have to do a lot of Bulería. And it's true, of course, but not only. One of the keys is not to focus too obsessively on Bulería and learn other palos that will definitely help you por Bulería, like soleá, even alegría, and even tango in a way. These other palos will teach you things that you will use por Bulería, but without having maybe all the package of difficulties at once. And lastly, many people dive into the deep end too soon. Cante learners try to nail very difficult, complex melodies. Dancers want to perform very challenging steps, or guitarists want to play very tricky guitar part without mastering the basics, like playing a good compás with palmas, having a basic understanding of the unfolding of the cante, or fundamental rules of the flamenco interactive game. It's like trying to run before learning to walk. Rushing into Bulería too much, too exclusively, and too soon can lead to frustration, wasted time, wasted energy, and wasted money. When we learn to juggle, it seems logical to start with one ball, then 2, then 3, and so on. So why don't we do the same when we learn Bulería? Why do we want to do it all at once? The compás, the cante, the steps, llamadas, remates, improvisation, intention, having fun. It's too much. It's like starting juggling with 18 balls right away. Our ability to perform for real, by that I mean interact and improvise, not just repeat a choreography, relies on knowing and mastering these 3 elements. Rhythm, compás, cante, and language, in which I include structures and codes and cues. When I say language here, I'm referring to the musical, rhythmic, choreographic language, not the language of the lyrics, not the Spanish language. This triangle is the holy trinity of flamenco improvisation. If one of the sides is missing or weak, then it won't work. And you are there in the middle, juggling with all that. You can ask me what about technique, but let's be honest. What limits most people por Bulería is not the technique at all. Look at the elder people in Jerez in a fiesta. Or look at the guitarists dancing in a fin de fiesta. There is no technique in the sense of virtuosity, just the technique needed to be a compás, to do what you have to do, and to express yourself. Especially in a fiesta, you don't really need technique. You can do so many things with simple material, as long as it is well structured, it is in compás, and it follows the rules. So one thing less. What is far more important than technique is this. But in addition to that, Bulería presents another difficulty, something that makes everything else even more difficult. Bulería usually goes fast. I mean, there is a tempo range. There are slower Bulería and faster Bulería, but the whole range is usually fast. A fast tempo makes everything more complicated. This is no mystery. There is no time to think while performing, and even less for Bulería. So it is fundamental to train and develop beforehand your flamenco intuition and your flamenco instinct. It seems so easy when you see these people in a fin de fiesta, right? For them it's automatic, it's like a second nature, like walking or talking, and they seem to have so much fun. It's not by magic or because they are people gifted with extraordinary abilities. It's because they have been doing this work of assimilation most of the time their whole life, since they were little, without even realizing it. So while performing, their mental bandwidth is completely available for what's going on around them, for listening to the cante, enjoying and being in the moment. But people like me and you, I guess, if you are here, who haven't had the chance to grow up in a flamenco family or environment, we have to learn and practice for a long time. I love this quote, fail to prepare, prepare to fail. That's exactly what we are talking about here. What you do when you are on stage, in the Bulería circle or in the fin de fiesta will only be the result of your preparation, of your prior training in the 3 dimension of the holy triangle. We need to work on these aspects in depth and for a long time, because we must integrate them in our system and make everything intuitive and instinctive, so that when the moment comes, we just have to be aware, to listen without having to think, to analyze, or to count anything. Once you are on stage, it's too late for that. As I said, I can't explain everything in a video, but let's take a closer look at these 3 elements and see how we can overcome their challenges. Obviously, for Bulería, everything is a compás, in rhythm. This is why compás is the base of the triangle, because everything relies and bounces on it. Bulería compás is difficult for many reasons. It's very modular with a system of full 12-beat compasses and medio compasses, half compasses of 6 beats. It is actually not one single compás type. It's not just a simple cycle or pattern, but several compasses type and different feels. 12-beat solea type compás, medio compás in 2 feel, medio compás in 3 feel, and more. These different feels are constantly alternating. We never stay long with the same rhythmic feel. It's multidimensional. I mean that all the possible ways of playing the compás can alternate, but they also mix constantly different things at the same time. But everything works together in an intricate polyrhythm that is a specificity of Bulería. And as I said, in addition to that, it goes fast, which requires a great rhythmic ability and reactivity. So what are the solutions? The compás de Bulería itself is already juggling with different rhythmic balls at the same time. You must therefore take one dimension of the compás after the other, understand it, practice it, internalize it, and then juggle with all of them. And this takes time. I will never repeat enough. Play a lot of palmas in combination with the foot. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot. This is why I already created so many exercises for Bulería that you can watch on this channel. Improvisation in flamenco is not about inventing melodies or lyrics on the spot. It's not inventing instantly new steps, or it's not improvising an instant guitar solo. It is a structured improvisation. We have plenty of building blocks like Lego, and we use them according to what's happening within the framework of a specific palo. And a big part of this improvisation game revolves around the cante. We have to interact with it, recoger, rematar, contestar, emphasize the caídas, mark the change to the coletilla, etc. One big challenge is that the repertoire of cante por bulería is huge, not to say infinite. It is said that anything can be sung por bulería, even the phone book. There are styles and letra native to bulería, but you also find any other palo interpreted on the compás de bulería, like soleá, alegría, fandango, tango, taranto, malagueña, granaina, everything. Many times singers also interpret songs coming from other musical genres, like coplas or couplets, or songs, for example, from the Latin American repertoire. These are very popular por bulería, like the tango de Carlos Gardel, Volver, or Mexican rancheras. Anything can go por bulería precisely because its compás is highly adaptive and versatile. You can even find French songs or Michael Jackson por bulería. Another challenge that is not specific to bulería but to cante flamenco in general lies in the countless possibilities of interpretation for the singers, the different processings, repeating, stretching, squeezing, breathing, linking, which means that everything is always subject to modifications and therefore for the others to adaptation, solutions. I will never tire of telling you there is no other way than knowing the cante. The different styles, the different melodies, the different possibilities of processing, the different interpretations. It is not even worth thinking of knowing everything por bulería because it's not possible. It's too big. But as I explained in this video, you can use the Pareto principle or the 80-20 principle to know what to study in priority. Most of the time in a fin de fiesta, singers sing very common style, mainly the short styles of bulería de Jerez and coletillas. So before anything else, you have to study and practice with these styles. Don't go for the bulería you like the most, or the bulería with these beautiful lyrics, or the one with that catchy estribillo. Go for what's traditional, usual, and functional. From there, then you'll have time to expand your knowledge, but at least you've had covered the bare minimum. Another fundamental thing that can help you is that these traditional styles por bulería work like styles por soleá. Melodies are different, but the type of letra and mechanics are same. The structures, the possibilities of processing, the places for interaction, this is all the same. So this is one of the most important advice. Study soleá thoroughly if you want to master bulería, slowly and peacefully without the stress of a fast compás and medio compasses. Flamenco language is a particular way in which things are structured and articulated in flamenco. Structures are like the grammar and the syntax of a language. Each element has a function and a place in a sentence. The articulation between the structural elements, interaction and communication is possible thanks to codes and cues. There are specific dance steps, patterns, melodic lines, chord progression, which are not here to look or sound pretty, but which carry meaning. They are the llamadas, remates, cierres, subidas, etc. They are like traffic road signs on the way. They are the elements that allow artists to communicate, to interact, to improvise, make decisions, take the lead, or follow what's happening. Nothing is fixed in flamenco and even less bulería. There are no fixed structures, but open, flexible, modular, elastic, dynamic structures. Everything is highly interactive and you can't rely on a precise itinerary, on a precise chord progression, or on a set choreography. It won't work. As when you're talking to someone, you have to construct sentences in real time based on the conversation. Another challenge is that, again, because of the tempo, structures unfold and cues happen very fast for bulería. And one more difficulty is that even if cante is fundamental, it's not the only leader. Interactions between cante, baile, and guitar are constant and complex, and leadership is constantly changing hands. So you have to know the standard flamenco structures and their possibilities. It's not that complex and it's largely a matter of common sense, but you have to take the time to study them, understand them, and train in order to be able, as during a conversation, to use them in real time. Here again, structures and interactions with the cante and the other are very similar, if not same, in other palos like soleá, Bulería por soleá, with the advantage of an easier compás and a slower tempo that gives you more time to think. So practice a lot and internalize these palos first or in parallel. All this communication game obviously requires understanding each and every member of the cuadro. You have to listen to and understand what the guitarist, the singer, the dancer, the palmero, or the cajon player are doing. You can't just focus on what you are doing. You have to take everything into account at once as a whole. So you have to spend time learning how cante works, how the guitar works, how the palmas work, how the cajon works. The secret of Bulería is that there is no secret. And beware of a very common trap here. Don't let yourself be intimidated or blocked by looking for the right solution. There is no such thing as the right, only and indisputable solution. There are always plenty of possibilities. What is important is whatever you do, it has to be a choice of your part. Bulería is just the tip of the flamenco iceberg, and mastering it first involves understanding its intricacies. To overcome these hurdles, you should prioritize foundational study and practice, the holy trinity of flamenco: compás, cante, and language. The quality of these few seconds that you spend on stage for Bulería will depend on all this preparation. So take it seriously. Everything must be understood at the time of study, integrated at the time of learning, and automated at the time of practice. It takes time, but it's perfectly possible, and it's the only way to develop your flamenco intuition that will allow you to dance, sing, and play freely. And that's it for today. I hope this video helped you. If it helped, you can also help me by liking it, subscribing to the channel, sharing it. Also, please consider supporting my work on Patreon. The link is in the description. And go and visit flamencomaps.com, where I explain my online classes, courses, and my way of teaching flamenco. See you next time. Till then,